Holiday planning and spending in retirement. I didn't see that coming either, but it's coming up, so this is just a start. Thankfully, it has dawned on me in time to start planning and thinking about what the holidays are going to look like now that I am retired. The holidays mean different things to different people, and we all celebrate different holidays. My family celebrates Christmas and the birth of Jesus, and that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video, is how I plan for that. But first, a financial planner and I connected here on YouTube about a week ago, and we're going to do a collaboration. His name is Demars, and I think he's from the West Coast. I told him that I would ask you guys to share any questions that you might have if you are meeting with a financial planner. If you've been watching this channel or watching me for the last couple of months, you know that I have never met with a financial planner. I retired on a pension and nothing else. Therefore, this is going to be my first experience meeting with and talking to a financial planner, and I'm probably going to do it on a YouTube, record it for a YouTube video. I don't think we're going to do a live, but it will be live at the time, and I'm not holding back. I'm gonna ask obvious questions. In the comments, put what questions you might ask, or put the questions you think I should ask based on my circumstance. The nice thing about this connection is that Taylor is connecting because he wants to be able to meet with his clients on a more holistic level of retirement planning than just the financial planning. He caught my videos and saw that I talk about all of the things outside of finances and wants to be able to add that to his catalog of things that he offers to his clients. So be on the lookout for that and put your comments in, or put your questions in the comments below. I think that this video is going to lean a little bit more towards the financial planning side, or to be thinking about the financial planning of the holidays and how that looks for you. And again, this is a very personal journey for the holidays for all people. This is just one person's way of looking at the holidays. I have divided this up into 3 different categories, and they are travel, gifts, and food. I think that's what we spend most of our money on during the holiday season. So I want to start with travel. I used to not pay as much attention to my travel expenses as I probably should have. We usually only travel on Thanksgiving, and it's a 6-hour drive where we go. And I've had a 4Runner for years. But the gas in a 4Runner over the last few years was probably between $45 and $60 to fill up, and I had to fill up 2 or 3 times. I never calculated that into my expenses. I also never calculated in gas station food, and I've talked about this before, how I try to quit buying gas station food because it's so expensive. But one of the perks of traveling, especially with kids, is stopping at the gas station and just being able to buy whatever you want. Luckily, my kids aren't like junk food junkies. They like some sweets or some chips or something here and there. They just don't want everything at the gas station. So it's always fun to stop on the way up and stop on the way back and have like whatever we want at the gas station. We have packed food in the past and packed snacks, and we've also brought back food left over from whatever holiday it is. So you got to keep that in mind if you pack your food when you travel. We don't travel for Christmas, so the majority of our expenses would be Thanksgiving. We did used to travel for Christmas, therefore these expenses would be double. So if you travel for both, keep that in mind. I'm going to talk about food next, and then gifts. And then I added an unexpected expenses category to talk about a little bit, because during the holidays, you never really know what's going to happen. But let's talk about food. I already talked about gas station food. But right now, my grocery bill is the most expensive bill that I have. I spend the most money at the grocery store than I spend anywhere. But I also don't eat out as much as I used to eat out. Food for the holidays is going to be a big expense. First of all, do you give food as gifts? Candy, cookies, pies, baked goods? Is that the gift giving that you do? And that can get very expensive. I interrupt this video to tell you that I made pecan pie this week. And if you give pies as a gift, I think it cost me probably, with all the ingredients and everything for a pecan pie, $20. So if you give 5 pies as gifts, that's $100. See what I mean about food being the most expensive thing right now? I have not done that in the past just because I don't think people want to eat what I make. I'm getting better, but I am not a good enough cook in order to give food as a gift. I mean, I can make cookies and cupcakes, but I just would not necessarily do that. I'd rather give a gift card to go to Crumble Cookie than me to make cookies. But anyway, food is huge. Keep in mind that if everyone is home for the holidays, you're gonna spend more in food during that time. My mom is gonna spend a lot for food during Thanksgiving because so many of us will be there, plus the Thanksgiving meal. Actually, it's my brother that prepares the Thanksgiving meal, but we stay with my mom. If you have people staying with you, and the way grocery prices are right now, you're going to be spending a lot more money on groceries. And do people expect 3 meals a day? Me, by myself, I only eat a couple of times a day maybe, and it's not usually a meal. It's usually snacking. Therefore, I save a lot of money on groceries. However, if both of my kids are home for 2 weeks out of school and we do 3 meals a day, we probably don't. We usually do like a breakfast and then a midday something. And I eat the leftovers. They're not very good about eating leftovers. But if you're cooking meals every day, you have to fit that into your budget. And I don't think I ever budgeted food as well as I probably should have. My last point about food is food for parties. If you're going to somebody's house for dinner or a get together, what do you take? And that could be $25 each time. And then food for work events. I don't have work events right now. I will have food to take to parties, but there were times where we would have different work events, a potluck or a bake-off, that we would do something for work, and that gets expensive as well. I did take that into account when I was a principal so that I wasn't nickel and diming my teachers during the holiday season and having them bring a dish that cost money to make. But keep that in your budget when you're thinking about that. If this is helpful, I try to touch on ideas and topics that deal with retirement planning and living that's different than financial planning. A lot of videos are about financial planning, and that's not necessarily my strength if you've watched me. But anyway, if these are helpful to you, and you liking them and subscribing to these will help push the algorithm so that other people can see these. And I have had some really good comments from people that these videos have helped and that they're receiving other people talking about retirement in their algorithm. So if you click on the like and subscribe, and of course comment your questions that we're going to ask the financial planner. Let's talk about gift giving. And this is a very personal topic on how you believe and how you want to give gifts. And I loved giving gifts, but I suck at it. I don't think I give the best gifts. I try, but I can't be as thoughtful as I would like to be. I think part of that is because when I was working, I absolutely hated the holidays. I know that sounds really harsh, but when you're a supervisor or a manager of a lot of people and you're planning parties and meals and games for teachers and parents and students, and you're having to do gifts for, and not necessarily out of my pocket, it's just the mental exhaustion of coming up with gifts every year. And you're doing gifts for the teachers, for the students, for your secretaries, for the nurses, for the custodians, for the school board, for your superintendent. And you're just trying to do all of this. By the time Christmas comes around, at Christmas Day, whenever my kids would go to their dads, I'd be so thrilled because I was so exhausted by the holidays. So now in retirement, I get to enjoy this and get to do the things that I want to do. Also, my list of people that I give is so much smaller. I did pay some of it out of my pocket. However, a lot of what I was buying for work was coming from work expenses, but now I get to enjoy it. And by planning ahead, like starting right now, then I'm not gonna shop the last 2 days before Christmas, because that's what I did too. I was just trying to get through work and get everything done at work. So then I would hope that we were off a couple of days before Christmas so I could do all of my shopping and everything the 2 days before Christmas. Now it's like 2 months before Christmas, so this should be easier. Anyway, gift planning. Let's talk about that. The first thing you're going to want to do is make a list, and my list has changed. So I have a very different list this year. And then you want to think about your budget. Unfortunately, my first experience as an adult out in the real world was working with a person who spent thousands of dollars per person on Christmas gifts. I knew my family's way of giving gifts, and then my coworker spent exorbitant, is that a word? Amounts of money on gifts and giving gifts. Therefore, I thought, okay, is that what we do in the real world? I don't do that, but that was my first experience with that. So think about who you're buying gifts for and how you want that to look, and then add 5 people, because sure enough, 5 people are going to come up that you forgot, or you're going to be invited to something and you need like that. You need like 5 more gifts because you just didn't think of those things. This year, I've wanted to do this for like 3 years and I just haven't yet, but I want to do the rule of 3 with my own kids, because Jesus received 3 gifts from the wise men. I just feel like 3 main gifts for my kids is where I should set the limit now that they're older. When they were little bitty and you could buy tons of things for $1 or $5 and have a bazillion things for them, that was cheaper and different. Now everything they want is like $300, or shoes that are $150. I just am trying to think of a way for myself, and I don't know that I'll discuss this or share this or have a conversation about this with them or anybody but you guys, but what do I want gift giving to look like? And okay, don't come at me. I know the holidays mean more than just gifts. I get it. I'm just giving you the breakdown of surviving the holidays as a retired person. A couple of unexpected expenses, and I wrote this down kind of as a last subcategory, but eating out during the holidays. If your whole family is around, everybody's been there for a few days, if you are the main meal prepper for the family, you may decide, we're going out tonight, I'm done cooking. Or you may want to order pizza. Keep that in mind when you're calculating your expenses, because if I think of travel, if I spend $100 in gas to travel somewhere, hypothetically, and then gas station snacks, whatever that's going to be, and then we decide to eat out, or I take my kids out to eat during holiday break, that's going to be another at least $100 going out to eat. So keep in mind about eating out during this time. So that's one unexpected expense. And then decor. It's already out. It's not even Halloween yet, and there's Christmas decor everywhere. I have recently purged a lot of my decor just because my house is small and there's not enough room to decorate all of the things that I see. But what about your budget for decor? Every time you go to Walmart or Hobby Lobby or somewhere and you see Christmas decor, do you buy it? Do you need it? That's an unexpected expense that we don't really budget for. We're just, oh, I'm gonna go to Hobby Lobby. I need some craft glue. And then you end up with $100 of Christmas decorations. I love Christmas decorations and the lights and the twinkly lights, and I want to put lights everywhere. However, I've been rethinking my decor just since my house is pretty small. This was just my first round of holiday planning. There is so much more to holiday planning, and maybe I should do a follow-up after the holidays. How did it go? How much did I spend? What were the holidays like without planning for a whole school community and just my family and just my close loved ones? Don't forget in the comments to put your questions for a financial planner. I'll put my complimentary retirement digital journal in the description below if you'd like to download that. And how are you planning for the holidays? Is there something that you do differently now that you're retired that would help other retired people?